We do have more from the locker room right now as we go inside the locker room with Nicholas Moreano. Sorry, I'm laughing at that comment from Ralph. Chin up, kid. You'll be the Bears GM before you know it.
Comment of the
day. Nick.
Did you see the future GM in Kiran Amegadjie when you drafted him?
Can't say that I did, Mark. But hey, that might be based off. No. I mean, look, this was his first career start. It's a tough defense, but man, was it a rough day. And we just played the interview. You saw his demeanor out there. He took accountability for it. He knows he could have played better, and it doesn't help that he got word that he was going to be the starter just yesterday. Yes, you're supposed to always prepare like you're going to be the starter, but I don't know, Lance. You could probably speak to this, knowing that you're going into a game as the guy that's going to be out there. I think is going to help you more so than knowing the day before and going up against one of the top defenses in the league that brings pressure like no other.
This is the moment I've been waiting on my entire life. So I got drafted, and now the coaches are saying that the guys that are in front of me are better than me, and I know that I'm better than them. And so on Sunday before we play the Packers in December, I get a call or as I get to the locker room, they say, hey, listen, Braxton's down, you're up. I could not have asked for a better opportunity to play the game that I love. Are you kidding me? I don't need to have a week of practice to kick that guy's ass that's in front of me. I've been waiting for this all of my life, and I'm going to seize this moment, and you guys are going to keep me as a starter, and I'm going to be a part of this offensive line moving forward. I'm going to have everybody talking about me as wow, why didn't we have this guy playing earlier? Again, that there aren't very many guys that get this opportunity and get this moment.
Hey, Nick, so we played Doug Kramer. We heard from Kiran Amegadjie. We heard from Thomas Brown. I know you got to talk to Jaylon Johnson as well, and there was some conversation about his, he didn't have the captain patch on his jersey, which apparently was just a mistake. That didn't get stitched on this week because Thomas Brown made it clear he's still one of the captains. But what else do we need to know from the locker room?
Yeah, let's start with that. Yeah, because Jaylon Johnson seemed confused. He's like, "Wait, what the hell? I didn't have the C on my chest." And then he, was about to go down and look for his jersey. He couldn't quite get it based on his position, but he's like, "Oh, I'm talked to Little T, Tony Medlin, who's been on the Bears for forever." So then he's like trying to shout out, "Where's Tony at?" So yeah, I think that was just by mistake. Jaylon Johnson's still a captain on this team. I'll say this. Obviously, he's been a part of. I feel like every game we always say he's been a part of many losing teams, and that is the case. But his mood, like we've seen him after games where obviously he's really frustrated. He's tired of these losses. It's not that he's not frustrated, but he was in a decent mood today. When he was asked, like, it feels like there's not a lot left in the tank. And then Jaylon pushed back on the questions, like, what makes you say that? And then I think it was Dan Wiederer asked the questions, like, well, it wasn't very competitive. Jalen's like, well, it felt like we competed, just didn't execute as well. And then Deion Miller asked, like, well, why are you at this point, week 15, still not executing? He's like, I don't know. You can look after the fact and say that you didn't execute, but it just wasn't the same. Like, man, this loss really hurt Jaylon Johnson the way that we've seen, and maybe just because at this point now this is 8 straight. And again, this is not to be construed as like Jaylon Johnson doesn't care, because that could be furthest from the truth, because he's probably one of the most caring person on this team about what the result is, but just seemed like he was in a better mood, kind of put things into perspective. Like We all go through adversity. Matt Zahn asked him a question: how do you keep yourself, motivated? He's like, well, have you ever been through adversity? He's like, I do it the same way. Like, I'm gonna go through this, compartmentalize it, go back home, spend time with the family, and then get back to work as he usually does. So it was interesting to kind of see this side of Jaylon Johnson after seeing, the sometimes where you can clearly tell he's short with his answers, stern with what he's saying, and this one was, I don't know, again, a little bit more positive, but again, he still cares. I think he's just tired of the losses at this point.
Sure, understandable. You had a chance to talk with DeAndre Swift. I'm just curious what he had to say in the beginning of the game. Obviously, the pivotal fourth down. It just felt like those first couple series where they couldn't get the fourth down conversion were definitely played a big part in getting any kind of momentum to make this game competitive.
Yeah, with Swift, again, I mean, I feel like the buzzword or the easy answer for a lot is just the execution on the play, right? And that was not only for that play, but there were a couple of 4th and 1s where just for whatever reason there were guys laid off the snap or couldn't get push up front to where it could allow Swift or whoever was back there to take advantage of those plays. But it reminds, man, I think it kind of was reminiscent of the game against the Colts where he got the pitch and it was kind of obviously like what more can he do in that moment. So it kind of brought back those vibes of that play call and how it was a lack of execution and like DJ, like I asked him a question about like when one of your teammates goes out there and forgets to report, like, do you say anything? Does anybody say anything on the sideline? And he's like, you just got to do what you got to do, and that didn't get done. And again, lack of execution. So I wonder what it would have actually been like in the huddle or even on the play, seeing like that touchdown get taken away, because it was a weird pause in the stadium because none of the offense, they were just kind of looking, and then obviously the flag there, or there's a pause and they announce it on the intercoms here, failed to report, and 2 plays later when Doug Kramer's back in there, like there was just an extra emphasis from the officials. Number 68 has reported as eligible, just so everybody was made aware. But yeah, just a disappointing play for not only Doug Kramer, but the entire offense there.
Nick, if you dropped a random person into the Bears locker room after the game, would they have been able to tell that this team lost?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, no doubt. It's just quiet in their market. Like this, I'll be completely honest. Like they have, so Minnesota's locker room, they have the offense to one side, and then as you kind of go further down to the locker room, it turns into the defense. It didn't seem like a cemetery in there. Like, to be completely honest, like last week was worse for sure. But I'm trying to remember what the last winning locker room we were both actually in. Mark, that was in London.
Yeah, they were
That was a
tough.
long time ago. I kind of forgot what that was like to even be in that kind of atmosphere. But yeah, if you were to just drop some random person, it's like, okay, these guys don't want to be here. It's quiet, and it's time to go home.
I would tell you the London locker room was very matter of fact. They weren't celebrating big time at all.
Yeah.
But it just has been noticeable to me that they've just it seems like the team's winning when I'm out there during the week, and I'm wondering what it was like after a game. So you're saying that you could tell. Okay. Fair enough.
Nick, anything else from the locker room before we let you go?
Bro, I mean, I know you guys didn't get a chance to play Caleb, right? Like you didn't hear anything that he had to say.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a couple of notes just listening back to what he said. First, he was asked just how he's doing physically, because there were some shots that he took. One, maybe holding the ball too long, but also his offensive line didn't help. But uh, did mention that he does definitely have a couple of bruises, and said that maybe he could just do a better job throughout the week of hydrating and also recovering, just so he can be able to when he gets these hits, sustain and recover more effectively. So he did allude to that. He was also asked, actually, I asked him about in his conference at one point. He said that Brian Flores was doing some unique things, didn't bring all the blitzes that maybe they were anticipating, but said that he, played some unique defenses. And I asked him just how do you think you saw the field? Because I'm looking forward to watching back there. It seemed like there was there were open receivers that maybe Caleb just didn't hit, didn't see, didn't throw the ball to. And Caleb said that he did get Brian Flores did get him a few times, especially in that first quarter. He said that, yeah, he got me. And then he said after he went through the tablet, said he started to figure some things out. We'll learn from, what this defense presented to him so that he could take this to whatever defense is going to throw these same looks at him. But once he said he figured out those wrinkles, he felt like he was throwing the ball better, seeing the field better, and that he'll put it in his memory bank and make defenses pay for the next time he has to face those types of defenses.
Okay.
Well, I hope
We'll see.
hydrating helps him get rid of the ball faster.
Easy fix. Drink more water. We got this.
I mean, I say this.
Cures bruises.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to drink more water.
How was Vanilla Ice?
Oh man! So look, right in the very beginning, there was this loud microphone malfunction where it just popped and everyone's like, "Whoa!" And then it happened again. But you know what? Credit to Vanilla Ice. He persevered through the adversity, and then was able to finish, the performance. But it was rough sledding in the beginning. But he was able to finish strong there. But yeah, not to be completely honest, I went up, tried to get food. I don't know if you guys saw, I posted what looked like a delicious piece of cake. It was a crappy piece of cake. So just like, you look at these things, you think they're going to be great, like the Bears 2024 season, and then you take a bite into the cake or you watch these games being played, and then it ends up like this. And then I threw it away in the garbage, and now it's over. That would be the Bears season in 3 games. So,
Like, I knew they were screwed when, you got Randy Moss jerseys, obviously, with his cancer diagnosis. Everybody's got the Moss jerseys going on. And then Joe Mauer shows up. It's like, why does Joe Mauer have to be there? I mean, this guy just crushed our White Sox for years and years and years. This isn't going to go well. There's too many dominant Minnesota athletes in the house. And the Gallarhorn and all that. Yeah, we should have known.
it's true.
Yeah, Nick, great stuff. We'll see you back here in Chicago.
All right, you guys. See ya.
There he is, Nicholas Moreano. And you can read everything he has to write from US Bank Stadium at allchgo.com.
We all silly like the